Well, welcome back to Triple Threat Wrestling. I am pitch hitting for Travis this week. And this week I am joined by MVP. And we're going to talk about the creative shakeups that are kind of going to come. Normally, we don't get creative shakeups like this going into WrestleMania, but with the programming we've been getting, this could be a welcome change. So we'll get into our thoughts on that, as well as what we think the WrestleMania card is going to shape up to be following again the creative shakeup. So MVP, how you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. Cooled down a little. We had uh, a bit of spring heat up here, and it kind of went down, but it's gonna go right back up tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. I heard y'all were in the '60s the other day.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, we've been in the '80s, mid '80s. So I wish I could. Well, no, actually, no, I don't wish I could sympathize because that cold stuff is not for me. But anyway, so this week I'm sure you heard about it. Road Dogg got his review, wasn't very happy with his review, and
hmm
said to hell with this, and he's no longer with WWE. What are your thoughts on that?
well, I mean, when he was being portrayed on Unreal, it really looked like Triple H tolerated him more than anything.
Yep.
And then Road Dogg's like, oh, he has his boys. He wanted stuff for his boys and almost never got it. I mean, he's been there for a few years now. I guess just heads clashed and he couldn't do it anymore.
hmm Yep. Yeah, I think it was watching WWE Unreal, it was almost unreal seeing how clueless he looked to the
Yeah,
point where is like were they doing this, were they recording this and filming this and putting out footage in a biased way to make him look like he was the issue and kind of leading up to this point, because there were just some things it's just like, are you like, why would you put this on your programming to make your guys that work for your organization backstage look like idiots? And
yeah,
Triple H is just like, oh, answer the question. What do you think? What do you think that means for our truth beyond it? Oh, I don't know, I just think it should happen. And it's just like, come on, man, these are elementary
yeah.
questions you should be answering. And I guess my thing is, did he really think his review was going to be good? You
I
like,
mean,
do you?
he's boys with Triple H, so I guess he's like, oh, he'll get me through it. Another review, like he always does.
Yeah, yeah. Not this time. Not this
Yeah,
go
no,
round. Triple H is facing too much heat right
yeah,
now. He's feeling it. Like one of the telltale signs of the heat that Triple H is feeling is after Elimination Chamber, he was not outside with the fans at the
mm-hmm.
podium. He
Nope.
was backstage with Jackie Redmond, and he just
Mm-hmm.
did his thing because he could not afford another day of the fans chanting at him, AEW or Y2J or something that he can
Yeah,
has to no sell or something, because you can no sell things all you want, or you can divert attention all you want, but real recognize real, right? And so
absolutely.
if these fans are chanting one thing and people see this, come on. Eventually somebody's going to do something. It's just like when your local sports team gets into a funk and maybe they have a terrible quarterback or something and the fans start booing that quarterback. Eventually you got to listen to the fans and pull that quarterback and
Yep.
release that quarterback or something, because you can't ignore the crowd. Like, these are the people that pay for the product, these are the people that support your team, these are the people that want to see a winner being put on the field. And that's the same thing for us. It sometimes I think, people say, oh, these content creators are so negative and blah. You think I want to not like this shit?
Yeah.
Like, are you serious? Like, do you really think I've been watching this since like
Yeah.
1992 and I'm deciding in 2026 that, oh, I want to say everything is bad. No,
Yeah.
first of all, when you've been a wrestling fan as long as I have, you've seen the ebbs and flows of
Hmm.
professional wrestling. You saw the mid 90s with the fucking goon and all the stuff, Repo Man, which I kind of liked. Um, and you've seen the dips that the business has taken, and then you saw the upturn with the Attitude Era, and then you saw
Yep.
another downturn, and then you know it's going to have its ebbs and flows.
Hmm.
But it's ridiculous to have the ebbs and flows reach the where they are right now with the amount of talent that we have
Yeah.
available.
Hmm.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like, never before have we had a roster with Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. We just had John Cena. Now we got Gunther. We got Finn Balor, CM Punk.
Hmm.
We'll be having Kevin Owens soon, Seth Rollins, Jericho's coming in. Like, you've got so much freaking talent. Rhea Ripley, like, both we've never seen both the men's and women's roster as loaded as they are today.
For
Yes, we've
sure.
got some injuries. We do. But there's so much talent that you should be able to work around that. And so I think for the creative team, it's exposing that they are the issue because
Hmm.
they've gotten all the TV deals. They're stretched out to where it's almost hard to watch the product as it is because you've got Raw on Netflix, and then you've got SmackDown on USA, and you've got NXT on CW, and then you got your PLEs on ESPN, and it's all over the place. But you
Yeah.
got your TV deals, so you've got money out the ass, right? And you've got the talent. Why is the product not better? All
Yeah.
fingers now point to creative.
Yeah. Oh, for
And,
sure.
Road Dogg can be the scapegoat all you want. I've worked in corporate America, and at the end of the day, the person who's responsible for the team is the leader.
Hmm.
And Triple H being the chief content officer, he is the leader. You can point fingers. Oh, you saw Road Dogg on WWE Unreal. You saw that. Like, let's get rid of him. Ain't that your buddy? Yeah, I mean, yeah, but if he's doing that, I told him that I didn't want him to do that, and he couldn't think anything. He's throwing him because he knows he's in the hot seat. And
Hmm.
I'm gonna say this right now: if WrestleMania does not deliver, Triple H is out.
Yeah. Um, Part of me kind of wonders if anyone behind ESPN is pulling some sort of strings because WrestlePalooza was a shit show, and I don't know really if it's got any better from there. It was like barely, and I don't know if it's any coincidence that it starts when they debut on ESPN.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Because when you think about it, so they've been on ESPN since WrestlePalooza.
Hmm.
So that means we've gotten WrestlePalooza, we've gotten Survivor Series.
Yeah.
I think it was Crown Jewel, Royal Rumble, and then Elimination Chamber.
Hmm.
None of those PLEs have delivered.
Nope.
So it's like you finally get your product on this premium sports network
Hmm.
and you deliver some of the worst. I'm gonna be honest, the golden age of PLEs may have been on the Peacock era because there were some bangers on the Peacock era,
Yeah.
man. Like,
Oh
we
yeah.
we saw some bangers. I mean,
Hmm.
you consider 5 matches, 6 matches. There were some good PLEs on Peacock, but ever since they've gotten on ESPN, it's been lackluster.
Hmm.
And for the amount of money that ESPN has pumped into this, and then I mean, honestly, it felt like they created the app for WWE almost,
Yeah.
and to deliver the crap that we're getting, and and it's like not only did ESPN pay a lot of money for this, there's commercials during this shit. Like, so it's like you've got you've got commercials in the ring with your
Mhm.
Slim Jim table and your the general logo in the middle of the ring. Then you got commercials you're going to that's which is
Yeah.
shortening your PLE time where you could probably throw in another match or two and feature people, but no, you've got to give 7 ads in between each segment,
Yeah.
and it's watered down the product so much.
Hmm.
And so you combine the corporate greed with the creative that we have in place, and it's just like, bro, what are we watching?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Let me ask you this. Do you foresee more shakeups in creative?
I mean, they have to because every the ratings for all these PLEs, they're just really bad. And there's people like us complaining about them monthly. Um, they'd have to, otherwise, what are they doing?
Yeah. Yeah, you have, but again in corporate America, it's like somebody has to be like your scapegoat, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, if you fail an audit or something, you've got to go and discipline the person that you feel was the person that that put you in this position to fail this audit. It's the same thing. So it's like he's like, hey, we got rid of Road Dogg, so but I mean, last night's SmackDown was nothing special. Now, granted,
No.
you're one day removed from his release or whatever that situation. He was forced out, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people can say, "Oh, he quit" or whatever. He was forced out. I'm sure he had a lot of pressure coming down him because shit just rolls downhill in corporate, right? It's Triple H feeling the heat, so now he's got to dish it out to whoever he feels he needs to dish it out to, right? So they
Hmm.
forced him out, and then they gave him the shitty review, so they forced him out. But it's like, and then they promoted the young lady, I think her name's Alex something, to the head of creative for Monday Night Raw. So we'll see if we
Yeah.
now Raw was much better this week than I think SmackDown was.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure your thoughts on that, but there was, and I feel like Raw has the cheat code. You have a shorter show
Hmm.
with low key a better roster
Yeah.
and more people that are over that you feel like are over on a weekly basis. Because you got first team all catering on SmackDown. I mean, you got some people that you just like, okay, bro, Apollo Cruz and fucking Johnny Gargano's gonna be laying on something this week, and Candice LeRae and the fucking Motor City Machine Guns, the fucking
Chin.
Fraxium. Michin deserves a title shot, damn it. I was like, and now it's gonna be a freaking one on. It's just gonna be a non-title match. It's like, come on, like you
Oh man.
finally had something, and now it's like I was kind of bought into her at least getting that, but it's like you got to protect the Rhea Jade match, I
Yeah.
guess. But I don't know, man.
Well,
Speaking, go.
uh, Raw being obviously the better roster, it's also driven by money. You know, Netflix.
Yep,
They wanted Roman Reigns. They got Roman
yep. They got
Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
Uh, Punk. They got
They
Punk.
got Punk.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure if they're like, hey, we want Cody there now. Cody be on his way
What
there.
are they gonna do when they discover that Rhea's missing?
Yeah,
They're gonna be pissed.
yeah. I mean, they'll be like, at least we have Io.
Right.
but yeah, this is all Netflix driven right now.
Yep.
I just imagine when if things fall out with ESPN, since everything's already on Netflix internationally, it'll
Yeah.
just be seamless transition, and then what are they gonna do?
Hmm.
Try to level it out, and then possibly remove that third hour from SmackDown.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll get out of that for the summer. I think
Yeah.
They it no wrestling show. I don't care how good or how bad the roster is. No weekly episodic wrestling show needs to be over 2 hours.
Yeah,
You have a 2 hour window to feature because with these 3 hour shows, all they do is have longer matches. Like yesterday, they had the fucking tag team turmoil. That
yeah,
was your drag out match. They have to have a couple matches that carry you through a few segments that they feel build something, and it really didn't. And then you had your US Open challenge that normally takes up 2 segments.
yeah.
So you're not really featuring the mid card talent like you should be. Where's Mark Cardona? You know what I mean? Where's Ilya Dragunov? He's in fucking catering with Apollo Crews now. Where where are these people? Where are all these amazing talent? Like, why are we not seeing them in segments and you have all this fucking time?
Yeah.
Because we're too busy trying to see how we can make our truth and Damian Priest look like a relevant tag team to go challenge the MFTs for the it just what the fuck was that?
We, we
Like
we got a low scars society.
it's frustrating. And then
Yeah.
so last night's SmackDown was all about getting the title off of Drew McIntyre
Hmm.
and on to Cody Rhodes. That was
Yeah.
the whole purpose of the 3 hours. It was no other purpose this 3 hours served. Um, Between that, the Danhausen backstage, which I thought was funny as shit.
Yeah.
The other segment I was looking forward to was Jade and Rhea, and that was
Mm-mm.
what
Mm-mm.
was like there was more heat and anticipation going in,
Yep.
and we got two freaking handshakes. Not one, but two handshakes. I'm just like
I mean, part of me was thinking, "Oh, you guys better behave out there. None of this X shit." Go.
that had to be Road Dogg's final fuck you to WWE. It had to be because there's no way
No.
he left and somebody wrote for Rhea and Jade to shake hands not once
Yeah.
but twice.
It's horrible.
I wanted to genuinely feel like they hated each other.
Hmm.
I saw on social media somebody posted their reaction to it was Stone Cold and The Rock from '99. I think it was their rivalry. I think it might have been pre-Mania or either pre-Backlash. But anyway, they were outside by a bridge and they were fighting, and The Rock throws Austin's title over and
Hmm.
hits Austin off the bridge and say, "Take the title to hell with you," and he knocks him down. And I just remember the feeling I had when that rivalry was going on. I felt that they hated each other.
Yeah.
And you couldn't tell, like, even though I was a teenager, I knew it was a work, but I still genuinely felt that they probably hate each other. Like, there's no way these guys like each other. That's what I want to feel for Rhea and
Yeah.
Jade.
For sure.
And they were setting it up nicely with all the social media stuff
Hmm.
and everything. Now you have an opportunity to let it play out on television,
And then you
and
shake
you shake
hands.
hands
Shake.
2 fucking times.
Horrible.
Ah,
Yeah.
what are your
I mean,
thoughts, man?
uh, part of me is thinking it's because Jade's still kind of greenish, even though she's
Yeah,
been in the business for a while. Uh I mean, this is gonna be what her first high profile match with
yeah.
someone like very legit.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if this is her dropping the ball. Um, but that was really bad. It really was.
I'm almost not of the school of thought that Jade is green. Like she
No, she shouldn't be.
she's fine. She's a super. She has there are my wife is a very casual viewer.
Okay.
She knows what's going on. She watches me talk about it every now and then. She sees Roman on television. Her eyes are glued. Like she knows who CM Punk is. But there are very few people that really grasp her attention outside of your big names. One of them is Jade Cargill. One day I'm watching it. She stops dead in her tracks and says, "Who is that? She's a star." It's like she looks like fucking Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like, she definitely should play Storm.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, she's beautiful, she's big, she's Jade is there, fam. Like
Yeah.
she can have and she can work good matches with a good opponent. You can't just throw her in there with anyone and let her unless she's gonna just do power moves like Goldberg. But there's no doubt in my mind with somebody like Rhea Ripley, they're gonna cook.
Oh,
It's
for
just
sure.
it's but it's all about I'm maybe I'm old school. I don't like cold matches. I the shit is fake. Like these are fake fights. So
Yeah.
I you have to buy me in with the story going in. Again, I should think that you hate this person and you've done something so bad to this person that now I want to spend $30 and see and go rewind last week's segment of our truth showing them how to download the ESPN app. I should be wanting to do that
Mm-hmm.
based on what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And they didn't sell me. And I'm a huge Rhea fan. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
huge Jade fan. Like I am literally torn, but that's also why I wanted to see some real heat play out on television. I
Yeah.
hate when heat plays out better on social media than it does on television. It's like, why? Like the shit that y'all are doing off of television is better than the shit that you're doing on television.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Nope.
Remember when I've always said this wrestling is best when you blur the lines of reality
Mm-hmm.
and fiction. It's the absolute best when there's something rooted in real reality that man, I remember they had heat backstage, or that real? Was that a work? Was that a shoot? That's when it's the absolute best because us as fans, we look at it and we want to find something we can latch on to,
Mm-hmm.
but when it's just a cold matchup, there's nothing to latch on to. And then you wonder why the crowd is dead for 20 minutes when these two superstars are working their ass off in the ring. It's because there's no heat on the fucking match.
Yeah.
There's no emotional investment. Dude, anytime Austin and Rock fought each other, the crowd was on their feet the entire time
Yep.
because they needed to see a resolution to everything that they've done on Raw and SmackDown to lead up to that point. Now it's just like, how does Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton feel cold? How? How do you manage to do that?
Well, so Randy Orton winning the chamber, and then immediately you don't have a matchup set because
Mhm.
you announce, oh, a title match
Another
is gonna,
fucking match.
yeah, there's gonna be another match, and then as soon as that match was announced, I'm like, oh, I think it's gonna be Cody.
The
I
writing was
mean,
on the wall.
yeah, it really was. I know Travis really wants it to end up being like a fatal four way
That
with,
was the story they told. So
yeah,
that's the story they were telling.
but
So fuck
then
it,
they,
give it to me.
but then they have Jacob Fatu help out Cody to win the
When they supposed to have heat.
yeah,
All four of
exactly.
those guys were supposed to have heat in individual feuds amongst each other, and
Uh-huh.
that should have been the mania. That was the story that they were telling, and then they stopped, and now they're telling another story. And really, the Cody, first of all, the Cody Randy match is the match we should be getting at Mania,
Yeah,
but they didn't tell us that story.
no,
So What the fuck are we led to believe that we're supposed to be looking forward to? Not Cody versus Randy, because they're both baby faces right
Yeah.
now, because
Yep.
there's absolutely no heat between them other than Randy Orton eyeing his title for the past 2.5 fucking years.
Um, I mean, the only thing worth saving here, I guess, is we do have 5 weeks to build up all this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, uh, Punk and Roman, they're off to the races.
Yeah.
But Cody, Randy, however that's gonna end up playing, maybe triple threat, maybe a fatal 4 way. I still think Sami Zayn gets involved, maybe
Yeah.
possibly costing Cody the match,
Right.
turning heel in the process. We got 5 more weeks. I just hope they
Yeah.
make some sense out of this.
It just makes no sense. I mean, 5 weeks, while it can feel like an eternity, I mean, when you're talking about Mania, that's
Yeah,
right around the corner.
it really
And
is.
I should be feeling a lot more enthusiastic about this premium live event. The first WrestleMania on ESPN should feel like a huge deal. It should feel huge. And to your point, the only thing that feels like WrestleMania right now is Roman and Punk.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't touched. They've just had two promo battles that were very heated, that felt like they touched on reality. When you touch on reality, one of the things Roman Reigns said, you picked the other two guys, you didn't pick me. Because
Mm-hmm.
remember, he wasn't chosen by Punk. He wanted was it Chris Hero, or
Yeah.
he wanted Chris Hero in the Shield, not Roman. That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know, you don't know. You now you got to go back and do some research and be like, oh shit, he wasn't a part of, like, he wasn't supposed to be a part of this. And
Mm-hmm.
it makes you want to do that research, and it makes you feel more invested into what they're doing. Like, he really doesn't like Roman. That's why he didn't pick him. And he doesn't like Punk because he felt slighted or whatever, and it just, because it's but again, rooted in a little bit of reality is
Mm-hmm.
all it takes. Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes writes itself,
Yeah.
yet they have not written
Mm-mm.
it. I mean, Randy Orton, and the legacy, that
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite stables.
Oh yeah.
To me, it was a spinoff of Evolution, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a great stable. I feel like both Cody and Ted DiBiase could have came out and been stars afterwards, but
For sure.
stuff happened. Did you know? I had a fun fact. Did you
Mm-hmm.
know that at one point it was talks of having Ted DiBiase Jr. break the Undertaker streak?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was supposed to be at Mania 26. Instead of the Shawn Michaels
mm,
retirement, the talk was that because a DiBiase brought Undertaker in, a DiBiase was going to take him out. That's how big
mm,
they had the sky as set for Ted DiBiase Jr. But some years later, Cody Rhodes became the man.
yeah.
But that's a story for another day.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Mania should feel important. This
Mm-hmm.
story writes itself. They
Mm-hmm.
had the legacy. Cody left. Cody returns. Hey, you've been kind of side eyeing my title. Somebody's got to turn on somebody. Hey, I made you, Cody. Um, you know everything that you got, the level you got to was because of me. I told you to leave the company and ask for your release and go somewhere else. You went and did that, and you made a name for yourself, but now you're back in my turf and you're gonna play by my, like, it writes itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Um,
and
I don't know who they if their creative teams are separated because you also look at the women's title match on Raw. That
hmm
stuff's cooking. Like
yeah,
Liv did, it was a pre-recorded segment,
right.
but she like cut the best promo of her career
hmm
to build up that match against Stephanie Vaquer. And
Now, the Raw writing team is much better than
yeah,
the SmackDown
oh
writing
for
team.
sure, yeah,
Um, I wouldn't say by leaps and bounds, but there is some cohesion. They tell more cohesive storylines, and it's like they care a little more. But I think it
yeah,
goes back to what you said, man. Like you said about the PLEs and ESPN, somebody pulling the strings there. I think Netflix is pulling the strings there because hey, Netflix has all of these amazing shows on its platform. You're gonna come on my platform. You got to tell some amazing stories too with some superstars, and there've been some historically bad Raws,
yeah.
but at least when they get something right, they get it right. And I've noticed with Raw, as long as you have the stars on the show is good.
Hmm.
You look at the difference between last week's SmackDown with Seth Rollins returning, with Roman Reigns and CM Punk, with the Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer feud. You put all those things in there, and again, the show is not 3 hours, so it doesn't feel miserable sitting through it. So you have three or four things that are going right. Hey, you can make that a El Grande Americano segment your bathroom break, right?
Yeah,
And you don't have to, it doesn't matter as much when the show is surrounded by other good things. But that El Grande Americano segment doesn't land the same on a show like we had 2 weeks ago that was just absolutely atrocious,
yeah.
right? Because it's just like it just falls in line with everything else. So when the stars are on Raw, the show goes well because Raw didn't do a whole lot different in terms of formatting for the show. You opened up with the fucking vision. It's but it didn't stink up the place
No.
because you told a good story. And then after segueing out of that, you had the Gunther match
Hmm.
with Dragon
Dragon
Lee.
Lee.
And that was heated. And then now it's time, okay, you've given me a good hour. Now it's time to go to the restroom. So he'll bring out the Americanos, right? And then you keep the show moving. And then by the time, I've gotten something to eat and I've used the restroom, now I've got Stephanie Vaquer on my screen. Oh, coming up next, CM Punk and Roman Reigns face up.
Hmm.
Cool. And now it's time. The show is over. But
Yeah,
on SmackDown, it's nope, tag team turmoil is next. It's like I gotta sit through this.
yeah. Uh,
So what are your thoughts on the direction going into WrestleMania now? So now we know the top two matches are going to be Roman Reigns versus CM Punk on night two. And then we're going to have Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton probably headlining night one. We've got Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan. I would
hmm.
imagine that would go on night two. And then you're going to have Jade and Rhea. That'll probably go on night one.
Hmm.
Now, we see that they are possibly talking about having up to six women's matches, so three
Hmm.
on each night.
Yeah.
How do you see any compelling stories that could play out at WrestleMania between the women outside of the top two titles?
Okay, so AJ Lee put out, oh, I want to defend my Intercontinental title. So now on Raw, we're gonna have, um, I forgot who it's gonna be, like Bailey, Lyra,
Yeah.
Io,
Yep.
Raquel, and Ivy Nile.
Yep.
So we're gonna have that matchup. It's basically AJ saying, "Oh, I want to face the best of the best, and I want to see if I still have it, especially on a
Right.
grand stage like Mania." So that should write itself out. Maybe Bailey because they have some history.
Yep.
I mean, what she calls her Bailey calls AJ her wrestling mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so there could be something there. I'm assuming something is going to be the same on the SmackDown side with the United States Championship and Julia.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
just nothing's been announced yet. Maybe maybe a Michin for
So
the umpteenth time.
I think if they're smart, they'll do like a multi women tag team
Yeah,
matchup.
yeah.
The Bella Twins, the Irresistible Forces,
Oh yeah.
Charlotte and Alexa, and then Julia and Kiana James.
Can
I think you
okay,
got to have Kiana James on the card.
okay.
She's been cooking.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think we could see Becky Lynch versus the referee
Jessica Carr.
Jessica Carr. I think that's going to be a Mania match. And then,
Here,
you
one
know,
thing I think they dropped the ball on is the story with Alexa and Charlotte. They could have made it to where they had a one on one match, a la
yeah,
Eddie Guerrero and Rey
yep,
Mysterio from WrestleMania
yep,
21.
yep.
They dropped the ball on that one really hard.
Well, that was the other direction I was thinking they might go too, because they just won the number one contenders match.
Yeah.
If they lose their, I don't see the Irresistible Forces losing the championships. I think they
No.
need to be the tag team champions for at least a couple of months.
Yeah.
So I could see a world where they lose that match and Charlotte is pissed because that was her ticket to WrestleMania, right? Because she lost, she didn't win the Royal Rumble, she didn't even get into the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And so now she's like, cool, at least I can win a tag team championship. And that doesn't happen. I think that is their way of possibly starting that.
Hmm.
But at the same time,
That would only
if
give
they
them
don't
3
have,
weeks to sell that.
yeah. And what I was going to say was, I don't think that if they don't have any other plan for Charlotte Flair, because it's like they're trying to keep her out of the main title picture because of everything that happened last year with her winning the Royal Rumble. I think that's why they're prolonging it, because it's like, what else are we going to do with her? We're going to throw in the Intercontinental division, or like what else do you do with Charlotte Flair? So I think that's why, and I'm okay with them being a tag team
Hmm.
for a little bit longer,
Yeah.
but the payoff needs to be some major heat between them. Maybe at SummerSlam, I would
Yeah.
love to see that, and that's how you reestablish both of them as singles competitors. Maybe have them have a three-match series where,
Hmm.
Alexa wins one, Charlotte wins one, and then you have that rubber match, and we finally, maybe it ends up being for the number one contendership for something, right? But I outside of that, I don't know any other matches that are going to be that good to feature on Mania over men's matches. The other thing I want to talk about as it relates to WrestleMania is, we going looks like we're trying to have a world where Dom and Finn
Hmm.
we're
Hmm.
going to clash,
Yeah.
but you don't strip, you get Danhausen to curse poor Dominic Mysterio. I mean, does the guy even like chicken tenders anymore after this curse? Like, I don't know. And that was a perfect opportunity to reward Finn Balor
Yeah.
with dethroning Dominic Mysterio. That's how you end the Judgment Day. But you give it to Penta in a cold match
Hmm.
where Penta has lost like five or six Intercontinental title matches before that. Now he's the Intercontinental Champion. So now who is he going to face going into WrestleMania? It should have been the Lucha Brothers versus the Hardys versus the Usos in a TLC match.
Oh, that would have cooked so much. Um.
The shit writes itself.
Yeah. I mean, I my only guess is he would either compete for the because he's still a AAA Mega Champion, maybe that
Yeah, yeah,
championship,
yeah,
or they didn't want to stick the IC title on Finn because they want him to be a main event player,
yeah.
which would be fine. you just got to write it out. But I would say um, maybe they need to keep Dominic hot because
They've cooled
he
him off.
yeah they need to because he'd be a staple in the main event scene. Definitely worth it.
Yeah. It's a little disappointing.
Mhm.
And then finally, what's really going to happen with Gunther? Is his destiny really Rey Mysterio?
I mean, he pulled off one mask. It's kind of looking that way. I don't know. He starts taunting what Ray Phoenix on SmackDown. Is he's just gonna continue beating up on Dragon Lee until Rey Mysterio has had enough? But it does look like it's heading that way.
You
Mask
know,
versus
it just, again, WrestleMania is supposed to be up here. Everything else is, you've got WrestleMania, you've got Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and then everything else. And I, two Saturday night's main events, we've seen Gunther retire Goldberg and John Cena. Royal Rumble, we see him retire AJ Styles. I hate to say it, it's a step down for him to retire Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. Um, and if anybody should be retiring Rey Mysterio, it's Dominic Mysterio
yeah,
that we just talked about. So is it, just because that's his gimmick doesn't mean he has to retire everybody
no,
that's, on their way out, right? Like some things just, again, some stories just write themselves. The passing of the torch moment is Ray to Dom.
yeah,
Dom to be a mega freaking heel that
hmm
ends up winning like a Money in the Bank and then eventually a world championship, right? That should be the trajectory for Dominic Mysterio. And for Gunther didn't even mention on Raw the week that AJ Styles was retiring. He didn't even mention on Raw that he didn't get into the qualifying match because of Dragon Lee. So it's just like, is he even bothered by not being in a top match and
yeah,
then just gonna be perfectly okay with retiring a luchador? I mean, the greatest luchador of all time,
hmm
hands down. But like,
yeah,
it doesn't feel. I would rather see him, if he's gonna have a non-title match or something like that. Like it should be against like a Brock Lesnar or
hmm
somebody that's returning. Like hell, it could have been Chris Jericho or something. But he should be in something big. And I hate to sound like I'm burying Rey Mysterio. I'm definitely not, and I'm not dumbing down anything. But like Rey Mysterio is a legend, but he's not a legend in the likes of Goldberg or
no,
Cena, right?
right,
Um, you can maybe put him in the same kind of category as an AJ Styles, but AJ Styles match was at Royal Rumble, and
hmm
anything outside of the 30-man, 30-woman Royal Rumble are kind of just whatever matches on a Royal Rumble card. But we're talking WrestleMania. Your stars should be featured as stars.
yeah. Well,
You have
that
anything before we get out of here?
yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna say that was my concern when he did retire John Cena. That he's gonna be this career killer now. Now you're kind of handcuffing him to that,
Hmm.
and now for if Rey Mysterio is going to retire, he's got to be the guy to do it.
Yep.
Um, I mean, all I can say is Roman Punk. They're they're selling WrestleMania on that right now,
Yeah.
and they're doing a great job at it. But you have other matches, high profile matches that
Yep.
need some attention too.
Yep. We got a long way to go. It's going to be a long, interesting 5.5 weeks to
Yep.
get there, but hopefully we get there. I'm going to do my best to trust the process,
Yeah.
and we'll continue to give you our unfiltered takes on everything throughout the road to WrestleMania. But that's where we are. If you got this far in our video, please make sure you like and subscribe. And then again, smash that notification bell so that you can get alerted first when we drop new content. Also, we have an affiliate link. If you want to get a belt like the one behind me, don't just go to www.shop.com and just give the money to WWE. You can click the affiliates link and pay the exact same price, but you get to pay the content creators that are feeding you great wrestling content each and every week. And that is us. So click that affiliates link and get this and any other merchandise you want. You want an Austin 316 shirt? They got them. You want to get the OTC one shirt? They got them. You want to get the Javon Evans new shirt? Go, it's right there. That's our podcast for this week. We will catch y'all next time. Next time, hopefully Travis is back. But if not, I'll be pinch hitting again. And until next time, we'll see y'all.